TOMCAM TV.
Where it's not just TV.
It's TOMCAM TV.
That's right.
He's Tom.
I'm Cam.
Yeah, I'm Cam. But
I don't know why I
know.
said that.
Sounded good.
I'm not both people.
That's hilarious. Listen, guys, we're here today to bring you our most anticipated games from both the Summer Games Fest and the State of Play that was on.
And the Xbox Showcase.
Oh, I didn't realize that was different from the Summer Games Fest.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
I watched a whole bunch of trailers today, and I don't know what was from what. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The point is, there's been a lot of games announced.
Yep.
A lot of games coming out.
Yep.
And we want to come at you with what we think looks the coolest to us and what you can expect to see us playing when they drop.
Yes, sir.
Right?
All right.
So, with that, would you like to start us off? Tell us what you got.
Yeah, so like you said, I mean, there was so many trailers that were released and new games were introduced, and there's really just a lot to pick from. I mean, there's something for everybody that was announced at all of those conferences, and it's really cool. This year was a really cool year for gaming announcements and stuff. So with that said, it was really hard for me to narrow down my top three. I'm sure it was for you as well, but I think one of the games I'm most excited for is Atomic Heart 2. And I'm going to put it in the same category, the Cube. So Atomic Heart 2.
Oh, sure. Okay. Because, yeah, they're kind of hand in hand with the same studio, the same world.
Yeah. It's just
okay.
the Cube is a multiplayer only game, and Atomic Heart 2 is a sequel to the first one. Now, I really enjoyed the first Atomic Heart.
You bought the collector's edition from that shit.
I did, because it looked really cool. It looked very much akin to BioShock, which is one of my favorite games, and it was it was like a new game and new world and all that stuff. So I was very looking forward to it, and I enjoyed it a lot. I thought the main character was a little cringe sometimes.
Yeah.
When you play the game in Russian, like how it's meant to be played, it fits a lot better, I think.
That makes sense. Is that how you played it then for most of your playthrough? Or did you go back and forth? Like, what was your experience with that playing like that? And do you think these games will be similar with those modes? Especially the multiplayer mode, I guess.
Interesting question. I think Atomic Heart 2 will follow along with the first one, that you can switch it back and forth between English and Russian or other languages if you wanted to. I do think the Cube is just going to be English altogether, though. Like, it is multiplayer, or maybe you can switch it to Russian because it's not story based as far as I know. So like, maybe you can keep it in, Russian and just not care what NPCs are saying to you or anything. But when I first played Atomic Heart, I started in English and the guy kind of annoyed me with his little quips or whatever. So then I switched over to Russian.
As you know, that's what turned me off of the game. I couldn't play through it. Started it.
Yeah.
Dialogue turned me off immediately. The trailer for that game excited the hell out of me, and I'll tell you, the Cube excited me too, until I started hearing some of that same kind of corny dialogue coming out of the scientist's mouth. But I thought it was an overall pretty interesting concept.
Yeah, I love the concept. I think it's really cool. I'm not pro-Russian in any way, but I like the idea of like an alternate reality, alternate universe.
Yeah.
Where like the Soviet Union never disbanded and all that kind of stuff. So like alternate universe type of shit that has something to do with history. I'm pretty big in. I'm a history nerd. So
Have you watched
I like
Man in the High Castle? Side note.
I haven't. What is that?
If you like alternate history, then you'd probably like that. It's about if Nazi Germany won.
Oh.
It's really fucking...
Oh, wow. I bet that's dark as shit.
I haven't watched a whole lot of it, but yeah, it seems pretty intense.
Well, cool. Put that on my list.
Yeah. That's interesting you say you Atomic Heart. Like I said, I couldn't get into it. However, the trailers did excite me. The design of that game looks so cool. So maybe I should go back and give Atomic Heart another chance. Switch in the dialogue to what it was meant to be acted in, I guess. Voice acted in. Right?
Yeah, right.
Because I assume...
Yeah, I think you should. I think you should go back and play it again with the Russian stuff, because you can read the subtitles and what
Yeah, I don't mind subtitles. I watch foreign films all the time.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and being able to use different powers, and the weapons were great, and like
The cube looked awesome. I gotta say, the trailer for the cube looked awesome, and it was only whenever I realized it was an Atomic Heart spinoff that it kind of
Soured it for you a little bit?
didn't. No, I wouldn't say soured. I'm still kind of looking forward to it because, I mean, if it's a multiplayer game, I'm not worried about dialogue.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe the gameplay could be really fun, and we'll be playing it. We'll see.
Yeah.
The gameplay looked really cool. I like the idea of a cube just appearing in the sky, and it's like all these different land masses. I saw the seasons changing. That looked really interesting.
Yeah.
The snow terrain and the monsters and the sideways walls, kind of a
Apexy.
Apexy or Titanfall.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I like the like you said, the constantly changing environments and stuff. Like, you're shooting off in the forest, and then suddenly now you're in the Arctic wilderness.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's like
seems really fucking interesting.
Yeah, the concept is great, and that was something I really liked about Atomic Heart 1 is they did such a good job of building the world.
Yeah,
it was a fun experience living in this world. Like, the map that you drove around in the open world part of Atomic Heart wasn't very big, but it didn't really matter because all the like areas that you play in, all the, the story-based missions where you're going through buildings and stuff, like all that, it felt big enough to where I didn't want or have a need to explore a world,
Yeah.
And so with Atomic Heart 2, it looks like they're just expanding on that. Like,
really?
Yeah, it looks like they're just going nuts. I don't even know what the story could be for Atomic Heart 2. It looks like it's the same dude. Looks like you're the same guy. Now, granted, I haven't played the DLC. There's like 4 DLCs for Atomic Heart.
Yeah.
I didn't play them. Maybe I should, but I don't know if that's story relevant. I don't know if I have to play those to play Atomic Heart 2.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm pretty excited to play it because it looks like a lot of fucking fun.
Was the story of Atomic Heart 1 satisfying to you? As a story in itself?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
It was good?
It wasn't anything, spectacular. It wasn't something that I was like, this is grade A writing, this is grade A storytelling.
Sure.
But I did enjoy it. Like, like you said, I bought the collector's edition before I even played the game.
Yeah.
I bought it before, anybody ever played the game. That's how much I invested into it. I was not disappointed that I bought the collector's edition.
Okay. Well, it's interesting, man. I guess that's a good segue into my number 3 because it's from the same studio. Ill.
Ah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It was probably the coolest looking trailer I saw.
Yeah.
Right? And there were a lot of cool trailers.
Yeah, there was a lot of cool trailers.
Ill looked fucking ill. Man, like kicking the baby. I know you got a huge
Oh my god, I laughed so hard at that when he kicked that baby thing across the...
Yeah,
dude.
and you know how into horror, body horror, all that kind of stuff I am.
Yeah.
I love all that sort of gruesome-esque type of body morphing, creatures swinging at you. It looks really fun. I saw it was from the same studio as Atomic Heart, and that's why it's number 3.
Yeah.
And not number 2, I guess. Or number 1.
I can understand that.
Just because, I don't know, it's kind of like, I hope they don't ruin the horror of it all. How cool it looked with some really awful dialogue.
Yeah.
And like clunky gameplay. My memories of Atomic Heart were kind of bad. Like even the gameplay was a little clunky to me, if I remember correctly. I don't know.
It can be a little stiff at times.
Stiff. That's a great word for it. Yeah.
It wasn't.
Didn't feel fluid.
Yeah, it wasn't as fluid as say.
Even fucking Call of Duty felt more fluid,
Oh yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Call of Duty's meant to be a lot more fast paced too, though. So
that's fair. Atomic
Heart is interesting because it's not fast paced like Call of Duty, and it's not fast paced like BioShock either. But it's not a slow drag. There's a lot of puzzles. There's a lot of like weird 3-dimensional puzzles.
Okay.
So I think that's probably the aspect of the game that I like the least, was there's so many puzzles in it.
Yeah.
And in order to get certain upgrades and stuff, you had to do certain puzzles. So I stayed away kind of from like a lot of major upgrades. I stuck with like a couple things, and I carried that throughout my playthrough.
Yeah. I don't want to fuck with puzzles, bruh.
But that's fair. Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
I want Ill to be like a horror game like Dead Space. It had a few puzzles, but Dead Space was like so fun in the horror aspect of it. The mutated bodies.
Yeah.
I still haven't played the remake. I need to get around to it.
The remake was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the remake was crazy.
Yeah. But it looks really cool. I hope it can deliver to expectations of what I expect from a horror game like that.
Yeah.
I didn't glean too much about its story.
I didn't either.
Seemed like there was a virus or something.
It seems like they were just trying to show the overall vibe and like what you can expect from it. You know, like the kind of enemies and gameplay-ish. I noticed no HUD.
Yeah, I didn't see anything like that. Which, like, I think works really well for horror games. You don't need any heads-up display. Like, count your ammo. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy survival type of shit.
Yeah. Like in Resident Evil 4 VR, there's no HUD that you see. If you want to look at your bullets or your health, you have to look at your wrist or something. Yeah. So, like, I like that kind of shit. That'd be cool.
Really cool. So, yeah, I don't know. It looks like it could be fun. We'll wait and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, you know, there was a lot of cool horror stuff that was announced during these conferences, too, which is great for horror fans, you know.
Yeah, it was a hard selection for me, honestly. And even still, ranking them from number 1 through 3 is, like, still moving around in my head, obviously.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
What do you got for your number 2? Like I said, they're still shifting around in my head.
Yeah, it is. It's shifting for me, too. I don't know, man. I think, like you said, it's really hard to boil it down. I think maybe number 2, the more I'm thinking about it, I think number 2 would probably be Resident Evil 9.
Oh, really?
On the horror. Keep on the horror track, and, like, when I'm thinking of all the trailers and stuff, yeah, Resident Evil 9. I might be biased because I'm still playing Resident Evil in VR and shit currently, so, like, I'm having a lot of fun with that, and I can see the potential of a new Resident Evil game being really fun. This one looks pretty cool.
Interesting.
So
I don't know much about the story of Resident Evil. I saw people talking about it, how it's some person's daughter in this game.
Yeah, I'm not like a hardcore Resident Evil fan, so I'm not able to connect all the dots. I recognize her last name, Ashcroft, I think it is. I recognize that. I've heard that somewhere. I think it's from Resident Evil 8. I think that's, or Village. I think that might be the same thing. But she's from somewhere. And then people are saying that the dude from Resident Evil 4, Leon, is supposed to come back and be involved in this somehow.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure how any of that plays out or who really any of these people are, but I am excited for it. It looks fun.
That would be crazy if Leon came back, because I remember Leon, and I'm not a huge Resident Evil guy at all. So that would be insane.
Yeah. So that's why I'd say this is one of my most anticipated ones, because it has the potential to be good, but it also has the potential to not be very good. So like,
Resident Evil games are so hit or miss.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The last one I had a lot of fun with, flat screen wise, was 5.
5?
5 was the last one I beat all the way through.
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I think it might have been 5 for me too, way back in the day.
Yeah.
I think my number 2 is a game called Mortal Shell 2.
Ooh, that game looks sick.
It looks really cool. I think it has the potential. I don't know if it's Souls-like or not. I haven't looked into gameplay or anything, if it's available. I don't know. All I saw was the trailer I saw, where at the end the guy like lifts you up, stabs you with his sword, and then hits you down on the ground, and that was really fucking awesome.
Yeah.
The creature design looks really cool.
Yeah, it
the combat looked really interesting from the cutscenes, the cinematic style trailer we saw. I don't know. I like the vibe of it all. I didn't play Mortal Shell 1.
I didn't either. Apparently, you don't need to play that to understand this one.
It's a standalone game, apparently. So, like, it doesn't even fucking matter that you didn't play it, which is awesome, because I'd like to try it and play it, and it looks really fun. It just looks super badass.
It does, yeah.
Looks super badass.
Yeah. And it makes sense for you to kind of, like, drift a little bit to that one with, you know, how much you love Elden Ring. And
Exactly.
it does have a similar feel.
Yeah. The rotted, raisin-like textures of the skin, the just creepy armor that shit wear. It's all cool.
Yeah.
It's all cool to me. The rotting, bulbous flesh. It's fucking tight.
Yeah.
Right up my alley. Of course I'm excited for that game.
Right.
It makes me want to go back and see if Mortal Shell 1's worth a try. If it is, let us know in the comments, guys, because I would love to know if it's worth going back and trying out.
Yeah, definitely.
So, I think that's my number 2, my friend.
Right on. That's a good pick.
Yeah.
I'm also very excited for that game. I think it's got a lot of potential.
Yeah. What's your number 1 thing you saw, man, that was like, oh my god, I cannot wait to have this in my PlayStation?
I'm going to have to go with Romeo is a Dead Man.
Oh, what? Oh, what?
I think that shit is fucking weird as hell, man. The gameplay looks fun.
I made you watch that trailer, huh?
Yeah,
oh,
I saw
man.
I saw I saw the first little bit during the live conference, and I was at work watching it, so I got caught up, and you know the intro of it didn't really pull me in, so I didn't go back to it. But rewatching these trailers before we shot this video, you know, like the more I'm like sitting here, the more I'm thinking about that game. It's so weird. Like
it looks really cool.
It looks so fucking cool. Yeah, like the art style is so weird. It's like it reminds me of the movie A Scanner Darkly.
Yep.
The animation kind of thing. It doesn't look traditional animation.
Yeah.
And then the voice acting looks fun. The gameplay looks fun. The grandpa character who doesn't look old at all is like the animated guy on your jacket. Like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck? Like,
yeah.
And then like that shot where like the thing was swimming through the bloodstream or whatever, and it was like picking apart the thing in the cells, and he's like, "Oh, here, hey, have this device. It's like a life-saving device," and shoves it in his face, dude. Like, what the fuck is this thing, dude?
It looks insane.
It looks batshit crazy, and I'm here for it. Yeah. So I'm very excited for that, and I'll be very interested to see everything that comes out about this game.
Yeah. It's like Rick and Morty meets, I don't know, Chainsaw Man meets a video game.
Meets Lollipop Chainsaw meets...
It's from that creator.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Lollipop Chainsaw people made this game. Okay.
Yes.
I liked Lollipop Chainsaw back in the day when it came out. It was a lot of fun. So
yeah, you'll probably dig this one.
I've got higher hopes
really
for it
cool.
now.
I can't believe that's a good number 1, my man. That's a great
Thanks,
one.
dude.
I like that switch up.
Hell yeah,
I like that
man.
a lot. That's crazy.
What's your number 1?
Man, so my number 1 is one that I can't get out of my head the more I've been thinking about it. Silent Hill F.
Really?
Yeah, dude, that's my number 1 right now. Okay, and I'll tell you why. I'll be real with all of you too, and even whoever worked on Silent Hill F. The trailer they released for the summer games or whatever, the release date trailer that just came out.
Yeah.
That one was okay. It was an okay trailer. If anything, it kind of worried me a little bit. The enemy variety felt sparse. It felt a little slow at times, but Silent Hill is inherently kind of slow, kind of like those Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
However, it just was like swinging the pipe at the same type of enemy, it seemed. There was like a couple of glimpses of maybe variations. However, when we were sitting here watching all the trailers before we did this video, we went back to Silent Hill F, watched it, and then I was like, man, I'll show you the trailer that really got me excited for this game.
Yeah.
We went back and watched the reveal trailer of Silent Hill F with the very Midsommar-esque thing at the end where the face falls off. Look, that trailer got me very hyped, the cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
And then, thinking about both of those trailers in tandem, I got very excited for the game because I thought about this trailer a little more as we've been sitting here. It reminded me of this manga called Uzumaki by Junji Ito. And in fact, the trailer that just released reminded me of what it might feel like to simply walk through a Junji Ito manga. It feels so much in the vein of that type of horror, and I am such a fan. I have a shelf on the bookshelf my wife and I keep dedicated to all the Junji Ito she has gifted me throughout the years. And that's when I started getting excited because it mixed Midsommar with Junji Ito meets Silent fucking Hill. Silent Hill F? Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Is the F for fuck yeah? Because, like, you know, like, let's go. It looks awesome. I'm really hyped thinking about those 2 trailers in tandem.
Yeah.
That's what's got me really excited and looking forward to it as my number 1, my friend.
That's a good pick too, man. I like that. Yeah, I mean, it does look fucking creepy. It does look weird as shit. I'm all here for the weird. I'm all here for the creepy and gross. And like, it was a good year. It's been a good year for horror fans, and specifically horror game fans. So
I think the slow creep is what makes Silent Hill work. The slow build of dread, the tension that simmers into a boil until it all explodes over. I can't wait to see the landscape start changing with the veiny red flowers coming out of holes of the corpses. I assume that's what's happened to everybody in the town, and I'm
yeah.
so excited for that game. I can't wait to play it. I think it's going to be a day one buy for me.
Ooh,
yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, I really hope that game delivers. Lots of great trailers were released though, man.
Man.
There was one, the Game of Thrones War for Westeros trailer.
Yeah, where you can pick your own ending.
Can't wait.
Yeah, everybody can make their own ending. That's basically like HBO being like, all right, everybody, shut the fuck up, make your own ending, and then watch House of the Dragon.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, that looks good. Another game that I'm excited for, dude, is that Game Freak game, Beasts of Reincarnation.
You showed me that trailer.
Game Freak
That
is
does look really
free
cool.
from Nintendo. They can make their own shit now, and I never would have thought that Game Freak would have made a game like that. Like,
Yep.
that looks pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, it looks pretty interesting. It kind of felt like Black Myth Wukong a little bit to me. Journey to the West, a little bit vibes, but maybe they step out of that. I don't know. We'll see. I want to see gameplay on that, really. I saw her parrying with a samurai sword and doing all this crazy shit. Like, how much of that is actual
Gameplay. Yeah, I want to see a deep dive gameplay on that. Yeah, because if I remember correctly, Game Freak has never done anything like this.
Yeah.
Never.
Yep. Yep.
So there's a complete change in routine for them, which I'm all here for, and I would love for them to make a bigger stamp in the gaming industry than just the Pokemon people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they would love to as well. And maybe this is what this is. Maybe this is Game Freaks being like, yo, we're finally free from Nintendo. We can do our own shit. We're going to come out fucking hot.
Yeah. Maybe.
I mean, it was a good trailer. It was a good, reveal trailer.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
It's not in my top 3, but I am excited for it. Maybe it will be in my top 3 when they, put more shit out about it.
Sure. Yeah.
But it did kind of, I could see the Black Myth Wukong thing about it, and I kind of felt Ghost of Tsushima-ish to me as well.
Yeah.
So, and I hope these games aren't knockoffs.
Yeah.
I hope this isn't
the same gameplay.
Yeah, I hope this isn't a Tsushima ripoff. I hope, what's that game? Mortal Shell 2 isn't a Elden Ring ripoff.
Right.
I hope Ill isn't an Outcast or an Outlast ripoff.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of cool looking games, man. Shouts out Mafia the Old Country looks cool. Never played a Mafia game, but that had shades of Red Dead. I also thought
cool.
Arc Raiders could be interesting. It was just a cinematic trailer, but I really liked the colored pinstripes on their title card.
Yeah.
And then another game I thought looked really interesting that a lot of people might write off is that Waterworld inspired game, Tides of Tomorrow.
Oh yeah, where you could see what other people did.
Yeah, I heard that the story follows another player, and it affects your story. I don't know how accurate that is, or if it's just
That'd be
affects your
pretty cool.
gameplay. I don't know what it is.
Just a random player. You just get paired up with a random player,
I have
and then
no idea. I'm interested
Very
to
weird.
know what that means. But anyway, lots of cool looking games out, man.
Yeah, and if you're a Xbox fan on PlayStation, you can look forward to Gears of War coming out too. Gears of War 1's finally coming to PlayStation.
That's crazy.
2 out of 3 major IPs from Xbox are coming to PlayStation. Forza is already here. Gears of War is coming soon, and there's rumors swirling around that Halo's on the way. So,
we'll see.
As like a Xbox 360 fan back in the day and a longtime PlayStation fan,
we'll see.
I'm so hoping we get a Halo on Xbox on PlayStation.
Cool.
Oh my god,
that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, dude,
that'd be pretty cool.
It would be so awesome playing Halo multiplayer with a DualSense.
Yeah.
Come on.
James Bond.
Yeah, James Bond, the new game made by the Hitman people.
I haven't played a whole lot of Hitman, so I don't know. The exotic locations look cool. Amazon bought James Bond. It's a whole thing, movie-wise. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about the game. We'll see. Hope it's good.
Yeah, the 007 game, this one kind of looks like the Indiana Jones game to me.
Yeah, exactly. It ain't no 007 GoldenEye.
Yeah, and it's not Raiders of the Lost Ark, so I mean, like...
Yeah. Anyways, guys, tell us what you liked in the comments.
Yeah, what game are you looking forward to? What game do you think that we should be into? What game are we completely fucking wrong on? Let us know.
Yeah, let us know. I'm just super into the weird, gnarly horror shit, so...
Yep, looks great.
Yeah, looks awesome. Hey, if you dug us, hit that like, subscribe button. It's not just TV.
It's TOMCAM TV.
That's right, baby. We out.